Yo, Jimmy G in the house. Here with my man Paul Ehrich of the Worldwide CIA.
You got the wrong name. It's Eric Paul.
Right, so Paul, you worked with the CIA. Tell me, like, what's that like? You like work on Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq. So how was that?
The name's Eric. First name Eric, last name Paul. So very simple. And not CIA, it's GSI. A whole different world. It's not
I'm sorry. So it's like that show on TV, like where they're doing like murder investigations and stuff, and they're looking through the microscope, and they find like a fiber, and it makes a guy guilty of murder and stuff. Like, so that's cool, man.
No, that's
what you work on.
No, that's
it's like CSI.
No, not CSI. This is all about GSI. This is about consumer.
So, yo, Paul, so like when you're at GMB, so like Paul, when you're at GMB meetings and you like look over at Ron Evanston, do you ever think maybe like he got a rug on his head? Because it looks like if you look at his hair real careful, a lot of people say like it's not natural. Like you can see a little thread on the neck and stuff.
I think Don looks good however he shows up.
But you think it's like not real natural?
I'm not going
So like when you look at it, it looks a little crooked and stuff?
Never thought about it.
No?
Nah.
Okay, yo, so that's Jimmy G in the house here with my main man, Paul Ehrich. Thank you very much.
Name's Eric Paul. Don't forget it.
Yo, so Jimmy G here with my boy, Dr. Thomas Ellis of McNeil Nutritionals.
I'm sorry, it's actually Ellis.
So Dr. Ellis, like, I'm surprised with a company like McNeil Nutrition about healthy people and stuff. They actually have a doctor on staff. So, like, Dr. Ellis, like, how does that work? Like, how many patients do you see in a usual day and stuff?
Oh, I'm not that type of a doctor. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a doctor of science.
So you're not really a doctor then. So I have like this thing here that's been itching me right here. So, like, what would you recommend that somebody would do for something like that?
You probably should see your own medical practitioner, your personal physician, and I would have them check that out if it's bothering.
Yeah. So like we was hearing that you're working on like a Splenda salt.
Yeah, I can't disclose any projects that we'd be working on.
So it's sort of like Splenda sugar, but it's salt. So like I put some Splenda salt on my French fries.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be able to talk about any projects that we're working on. Is there anything else you'd like to? Can I tell you about some of the projects we are?
No, I think we're good. Thank you for sitting down with Jimmy G.
Yeah, fine.
Yo, so Jimmy G in the house. I'm here with Marcel Blakeney, who's the Worldwide Director of Human Recreation.
Human Resources.
So, like, so human recreation is sort of like, so you're sort of like a park ranger. So, like, when you come to work, you wear one of those hats. It's got like the thing like a Smokey Bear type hat.
No, we don't wear hats in Human Resources.
So, like, what is job in like recreation of human? Like, it's like, do you ride a horse to work to like check the trails and stuff?
No, we don't. I drive my car to work.
And do you make like sure that nobody like starts a forest fire like accidentally and stuff?
Well, yeah, you can say that. We put out.
Like when you're at a GMB meeting and you're like, does it bother you that sometimes like Mike Conway, he takes his shirt off at the GMB meeting, he takes his shirt off?
I've never really seen Mike take his shirt off.
Yeah, but you saw him like roll his sleeves up and like flex like that sometimes.
Well, I've noticed that he has, you know, Mike is very athletic and he exercises, and it's just natural for him to have.
Yeah, but
muscles.
do you think he like should be flexing and stuff when he's at the table?
No.
So, all right, that's Jimmy G. Jimmy G in the house with Marcella Blakeney from McNeil Nutritional Human Recreation.
Resources. Human Resources.
Jimmy G in the house. Yo, it's Jimmy G here with my main man, Mark Edgerton, Worldwide Director of Operation for McNeil Nutritionals. You're responsible for, like, the building, right, and everything?
Yes.
So, like, Mark, if Barry Letizio, if you found out Barry like shot a reindeer and like ate it for his holiday party, would that, like, what would you think of that?
Barry does that.
If like the GMB was like on a sinking ship and stuff, and like there was only like enough life preservers for everybody but one, like who would you throw off the ship?
Well, That's a tough one.
So, okay, so
So
like,
I would make sure that Jim Thornton survived.
okay, so yeah, so that's a lot of people are saying that and stuff. Yeah, so sometimes like when you're in a GMB meeting and like Rhonda Johnson doesn't agree with like Bridget, do you ever hear like go bullshit like that under her breath?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so that's my main man, Mark Edgerton from Operations. Thank you for being on the Jimmy G Show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yo, it's Jimmy G here with my boy Steve Canoli from McNeil Nutritional. Steve, how did you get the name of an Italian dessert?
It's not really an Italian dessert. Catania.
Steve Catani.
Catania.
Oh, I thought it was cannoli. So it's Jimmy G in the house with Rhonda Johnson of Johnson & Johnson. Like, so Rhonda, how does it feel working for like the family business and everything, since you're like your grandfather was General Johnson and everything?
My grandfather was not General Johnson.
Yeah, but you're like Rhonda Johnson of like Johnson & Johnson, you know? It's like the same thing, right? It's like Rhonda Johnson of Johnson & Johnson. Like at a GMB meeting, when you're like sitting next to Tom Ells,
Yeah.
sometimes like if he doesn't agree with something that like Bridget's saying, so would he like cough under his breath like bullshit like that? What about like Mike Conway in GMB meetings? Like, does it bother you that sometimes in GMB meetings he doesn't wear a shirt?
I'm sorry I've missed those GMB meetings, but I've
But
not
like,
seen
you know, like sometimes he rolls his sleeves up and like, act, you know, like punches muscles and stuff. Does
He
that
doesn't
bother
even
you?
need to roll his sleeves up.
So Ron, like you have, like you live on a farm and like you have sheep and stuff, right?
Yes.
So like, do you sometimes you like saddle up the sheep and you like ride them around the yard and stuff?
No.
No?
I don't go near the
Like,
sheep.
do you like dress them up sometimes?
I don't go near the sheep.
And have like a little sheep show and like you do like a little fashion show and they like wear a little headdress with flowers and
I
stuff.
don't go near the sheep.
Well,
They're like up on the hill.
So it's Jimmy G in the house with my girl Rhonda Johnson of Johnson Company. Okay, yo, so it's Jimmy G in the house. I'm here with my man Michael Conway. Mike's the manager of the General U.S. And Mike, so like you was vice president before, and now you're like manager of the General U.S. So does that feel like a little bit of a step down and stuff?
Yeah, well, actually, it's general manager of the U.S.
So you're a manager of general. That's just like the general part of the U.S.
No, actually responsible for all the U.S. in totality.
So yeah, like you're responsible for marketing and stuff. So like
That's right.
Deborah Sandler, she picked out like the yellow for Splendor, right?
She did actually. That's what I'm
Yeah,
told.
so she's gone now. You think now that she's gone, it's okay to say like it was a terrible color?
No, well,
We should have
actually,
probably picked a different color and stuff.
I think yellow is a good. You might actually think yellow is a good color. I mean,
I'm just
given what
thinking
you've
now, she's
chosen
not here
to
anymore,
wear.
so you can tell us what you really feel and stuff.
Well, thanks for that flexibility.
So like, and so Mike, sometimes when you're in like GMB meetings and you like take your shirt off, do you think it like upsets anybody or it's not really?
Well, you know, I try to limit how often I take off my shirt. Sometimes you have to.
Right.
But-
So like, if you were sitting next to like Rhonda Johnson and she said something like she didn't agree with Bridget, and she like under her breath she sort of like caught bullshit like that.
Mhm.
Do you think that's right or like?
I don't think she would do it that way.
That's Jimmy G in the house with my main man Mike Conway, manager of General U.S.
General manager, yes.
Gentlemen, yeah. Yo, it's Jimmy G in the house with my man Ron Evanston. Ron, how are you today?
Whoa. Ron?
Yeah, Ron Evanston.
Well, let me correct it. It's Don Evanson.
Okay,
not Ron.
so Ron, you're in charge
No,
of B.
Don.
Okay, so Don, you're in charge of B and D.
Well, that's
So
close.
like,
BD is BD.
So is your hair real? Because a lot of people have been saying they think you're wearing a wig and everything.
Give it a pull.
I think it feels pretty real to me.
It's real.
So Ron, like, what did you think of?
No. Let's get this straight. Let's get it straight. It's Don.
So Don, like, what did you think of last week's episode of Gossip Girls? Did you think it
Of
was
what?
like
Of what?
of Gossip Girl? Did you? That's Jimmy G at the house with my main man Ron Evans.
Don Evanson.